that was really the first time ever that I had played a game that really immersed me in that world. I mean, for however long it took me to finish that game, I was there, you know, I was in that world, and that, I think, is something that I hope that I can do one day, is really present players with gameplay in worlds that just totally suck them in and make them forget where they are. So I would say it would have been Flashback. I mean, today there are certainly games that are doing that very well today on PlayStation and other systems. Just some wonderful games out there. But I think Flashback really, for me, was the first one that did it, and it sort of holds that ranking in my mind as the greatest game of all time. Which I wish I would have done it.
Next question.
I would love. Well, I don't know if I would love to, because usually what I usually find that when you actually get into the job that you think is so great, it turns out to be really great, but there's a lot of hard work with it. So I don't think there's a perfect job out there. I love what I do. I wouldn't trade it for anything, and in fact, I would, as long as my bills were paid and I could take care of my family, I would do it for free. But I would, I'd like to see myself doing comic books one day. I'd love to. I can't draw at all, but I'd love to write comic books.
Next question.
There's a couple things I would say. One is that it really isn't, at least at this point in time, that hard to get into the industry. At an entry-level point, either through being a tester, being an artist, being a programmer. I mean, if you really want to get in, you will find a way in. I'm not going to sit here and give you a secret way in, because there isn't one. It's basically, if it's something you want to do, you'll find a way to do it. What I will say is that be able to distinguish yourself from being a fan, which is a wonderful thing to be, from being a game maker. And they're entirely two different things. And I see a lot of people come in and they're huge game fans, but when they sit down to make a game, they really don't care so much about what goes into the game. They just want to regenerate what they've, or regurgitate what they've already seen. So I think really make sure you want to make games, and you should be able to design games. I always say, you should be able to have a coconut and a crayon and make something fun out of it. And the excuses of, well, I don't have a SGI machine and I don't have a 200 megahertz Pentium. I mean, understand what it means to make games and gameplay, and study the great games, study chess, study checkers, understand why there's as much technology in Street Fighter 2 as there is chess in Street Fighter 2. And those are the things I think that the game business really needs, is people who understand gameplay. So I would say that learn what game making is, make sure you really want to make games, and then just find a way to get in and keep pushing, and don't let anyone discourage you, because it's certainly doable. Hell, as they say, if I did it,
Final question.
I never really intended to get into the game business. It was really a total fluke. I had always played games as a kid and stuff, and I'd always been a video game fan, but my initial intention was to go into filmmaking, and I'd gone to film school and all that, and basically the video game thing kind of happened while I had just gotten out of film school, and I was sort of waiting for, the call from Steven Spielberg or George Lucas or something. And, in the meantime, I figured it would, I needed to eat, and make money and stuff, so I had heard about this job as, game testers, which basically what I thought at the time, which is not the case, that all they did was sit around all day and play video games. So I figured, this will be something cool to, bide my time and make some money, until I get to make movies. And I kind of fell into it like that and got the job from Sony back when Sony was Sony ImageSoft. And, once I got there, I started seeing the potential of the next generation of video games, and seeing how, as game designers, we can take games beyond the simple side-scrolling, stuff that we had been seeing for the last 5 or 6 years, and really take players into a new, sort of a new direction of fun and in gameplay. So, since then I just sort of haven't looked back. I just started as a tester and kept going.
Thank you, Dave, Jeff, P for that. Now it's time to do behind the scenes. On the behind the scenes, you can know about how FL Game Day 97 is made, and also made the Twist Metal 2 TV commercial. But first, let's do the cheat. It's pretty much FL Game 97 Easter eggs. So let's start with FL Game Day 97.
Tim Brown.
Tim Brown came into our motion capture studio, and the result you can see in the game, the smoothest animation in a football game today.
That kind of stuff just blows you away, really, to see how they could take you running and put it on the screen and fill it in with animation or whatever, and it ends up being a little football player in the game doing exactly what you were doing.
So what it does is for each frame, it will go through and it will figure out where each of these dots actually were. You really don't need anything until you start moving them. And once you start moving them, you can see basically where the hips and the knees and the ankles and all the joints are. Voila, you end up with a stick figure. You want to have a left foot, right foot, left foot, so that you can take that and cycle it.
It was really fun to be here with these guys and to see how much they really put into making sure that these games are exactly how the guys are doing on the field.
One playing the game, you draw it any way you want, we'll implement it the way you draw it.
Well, it's that, right? It's that. I'm very, very excited about my special play because I guarantee you it's going to be a touchdown, especially if you have the right receiver out wide.
That's it, baby!
And that's pretty much the NFL Game 97 behind the scenes. Now let's look at the Twist Metal 2 TV commercial.
You may have already seen this.
Style, sophistication, the ability to launch napalm into oncoming traffic. If these are the things you look for in an automobile, it's time you test drive Twisted Metal 2. Fully automated weaponry, dual rocket launchers, and the new APS flamethrowing system. All standard. Drive the 1997 Twisted Metal 2 on PlayStation from Sony, and let style be your weapon.
Now we're going to show you what it took to make this ad. The Underground has asked me to give you an eyewitness account of the making of the Twisted Metal 2 TV commercial. I'm David Bamberger, the product manager for Twisted Metal 2, and I accompanied the film crew to Prague and saw how they captured the look and feel of a luxury car ad. Prague was the perfect city. It's located in the Czech Republic and has a rich, glamorous feel that we were looking for. We were lucky to find Monique locally. But to get the properly arrogant male lead, we had to import Timothy from England. He actually turned out to be a nice guy. Of course, the real star of the ad is this fully loaded, heavily armed car.
Style, sophistication, the ability to launch napalm into oncoming traffic.
Of course, a missile launcher wasn't a standard feature in these big American cars, so we added one.
3, 2, 1, go! 3, 2, 1, go!
Instead of using a computer composite, we used a real explosion to get the reflection you're about to see in the actor's glasses.
That's nice. That's very nice.
Ability to launch napalm into oncoming traffic. If these are the things you look for in an automobile, it's time you test drive Twisted.
This next scene was really tough. Our model had a hard time overcoming the urge to run from the gunfire. With each blown take, the door had to be rebuilt with fresh explosive caps.
And action.
With only one door panel left, she pulled it off perfectly.
All standard. Drive the 1997 Twisted Metal 2 on PlayStation from Sony.
This is one of the last shots we did because the flamethrower actually melted the hood of the car.
And let style be your weapon.
The crew somehow found this big American car in Prague. They worked on it non-stop for a week and turned it into this twisted metal weapon of mass destruction. It wasn't street legal when we bought it, and it certainly wasn't street legal after. Well, there's your inside look. And remember...
There you have it. That's how Twist Metal 2 TV commercial was made. Alright, let's go to the next section here. This one's called the download station. It's pretty much you download any cheats, like unlock stuff, and For this one is Carnage Heart. This one you get 25 OKEs into your memory card. And let me tell you, they're very hard and very challenging. So if you have the challenge, go for it. So anyway, I'll show you a list of vehicles that you put to defeat your enemies. And let me tell you, there's a lot of them in here. So each one, the designers make these vehicles in order to show you which one they are, their strengths, and their weapons. Reminds me of a fun version of Robotech in a way. Robotech and chess. That might be the card chart is called. So it's very interesting to see a different take on like chess and mech warriors face each other that way. So, well, if you want to know how Carnage Heart was made, or know about it, check my CD sampler gameplay. That way you know what it is. So anyway, okay, all you do is just press download and you're all set. Okay, when I unlock this cheat here, I got something strange, and it's like, I wonder what this is about. Actually, it's a small promo trailer for Blasto, which I never ever played Blasto game ever. I don't even own that game too. So, yeah, I heard the game has some criticism. Maybe it said that the enemies are a little too mean, and also gameplay could have been a little bit better. But I like Phil Hartman, and I think that's pretty cool in order to try it out. So, better rent that first. You are not E. It's ready with the E. So you're not E. Sounds like eat. I like to eat. Anyway, let's move on. Ooh, let's check the event center with E3.
E3 is America's largest trade show dedicated to the video game industry. You might have read about it in gaming magazines and maybe even seen a few pictures. But now, through the use of time-lapse photography, the Underground takes you for a quick look inside E3 and the making of Sony's outrageous booth from the ground up.
So it pretty much is showing like the fast speed to show how the whole place was built. And let me tell you, they took days and days and days in order to build this place. I would love to go to E3 just once to see what it looks like in person, because I bet in person it looks awesome. I do like the railings of the metal, and also nice stands and displays and stuff like that. It's pretty cool how they did that. Wow, look at them go. That took a lot of effort to make this event. I think the event's like maybe 4 days. It's in Atlanta, Georgia, I think, or San Diego. I can't remember. I can't remember where it was located. Yeah, I think those things are stands for holding the monitors, or actually TVs. Those are CRT TVs, people. For anyone who doesn't have a CRT TV, well, actually, in the new generation, those are big and heavy glass pieces. That's for sure. I remember a long time ago, used to have like DLPs where I worked, but they didn't sell well very much, and then they depleted. It's pretty sad though, because those are nice TVs, even though they're big and very, very heavy. Look at that. Now that is really neat how they assemble all of that so they can try out every demo they can hands on, buy some merchandise, and get info of when those games are going to come out. So that's one thing good thing about the event. That way you can play the games and try it out yourself, see if you, as a consumer, want to try it out. So, Yeah, and the biggest section there is PlayStation. There are some sections for like Sega, for example, and Nintendo. But the PlayStation was so big, they made a very big section of it. So, and here we go. Here's what it looks like when it's open. Very cool. Oh no, Bubsy. I'll never own that cat, or even the game. Unfortunately, I think there's the demo, for Bubsy's 3D, and I'm unhappy to do this, but I might have to play that and show you how horrible that game is. Anyway, let's look at the nice scenery for E3. There's a nice sports bar. There's people going around to check on the games. Yeah, there's a sports bar right there. Wow, that is really cool. Ooh, they serve beer. I better go get some. Oh, here comes one of my favorite parts in the video here. There it is, the special effects wall. And this comes out, and then it says you are not ready, and it shows all the hot PlayStation games displaying on the big special effects wall. So, see, there's Sega right there. That's when they used to be good. Used to be. Despite they're only doing Sonic games, and there's very few are good, but the CGI ones have been doing very, very poorly lately, so hopefully they'll turn around someday. Anyway, let's talk about Sega. Let's go talk about this. So, on the bottom screen here, it shows how much stuff they did to build it. And let me tell you, that took a lot of effort. Oh, don't take it down. I want to go there. Dang it. Oh well, what you gotta do? Well, at least you can see what it looks like, and then just look at a magazine. Alright, let's go to the next section here. Bulletins. So it's pretty much like 411 for PlayStation. All the info you need to know. Like, about the website, what people say about the issues, the stuff that you can buy for clothes, which I wish I have, but oh well. Also here in this one, the art contest is pretty much just you do your art and you send it to them. That's it. Yeah, don't send any of those on those addresses, because even though it may be the right address, or maybe not, I don't know. But I wouldn't send them anything because that CD magazine is pretty much gone. So. Anyway, let's move on to the next transmission.
So, you want interviews with developers, demos of the hottest new games, codes, tips, and tricks you can't get anywhere else? Cool black market underground gear.
Nod your head yes.
To get all that 4 times a year, you gotta subscribe to the Underground magazine. And to subscribe, you gotta have a plan.
Here's the plan.
Get up off the couch. Step over the coffee table. No, don't look away. Walk through the dirty laundry. It is critical that you make no eye contact here with anyone, or they will try to make you pick things up.
Don't even think about picking up.
Move towards the front door. You know, where you keep the mail. Finally, you're at the door. Think back to when you picked up the mail. You saw the Underground CD, so you threw the rest of the mail aside.
Concentrate!
You ripped open the expensive, well-planned mailer, trashed it, opened the jewel case, ignoring all design hours spent creating it, and just tossed it, only to grab out the CD. The CD case. The subscription card inside the front cover.
Where did you throw it?
On the floor? In the trash? Crushed in the doorway? Find it, and the cool stuff, the games, the codes,
the power,
can all be yours. Find the subscription card. Fill it out. Don't screw up. This is a great plan. In fact, subscribe and you are automatically eligible to win some pretty cool stuff.
Anyone can. A subscription is not required. See the booklet in your CD case for details.
Yeah, I wish I had that that jacket, the development jacket with the Twist Metal 2 on it. That would be cool to have. Oh well, too late for that one. Anyway, so I'm showing you the code archive. This is when the internet wasn't very big, and the show you the codes for certain games for PlayStation. So this is a very nice idea. Yeah, I already showed you the new codes for some certain games, including the Jet Moto one, which I showed you just a few seconds ago. So On the next few issues, I am not going to show the code archive because there's no point. The only thing I will show is there's a cheat you need to unlock from the code archive. That's it, nothing more. So, yeah, can't wait to play Twisted Metal for the verse battle. We'll be doing that pretty soon. Not sure when though. Alright. Here's 2 cheats I want to show you. Here's for Twisted Metal 2. And of course, the credits.
We got there.
Chicken pot pie.
Mmm.
Poor Dave Jeffy had to be tied up again. Again? Oops. Anyway, thank you for watching this video. This is AlanStarWarsFan here. Stay tuned for part 3, and it's time to game over. Have a good one.